Welcome to an all-new LayItOmni. Allow me to lay it on you. Well,
Baba Booey.
This has been a hell of a week. Those of you guys who don't know, the most recent events that's been transpiring around a person by the name of Ava Kris Tyson has probably started one of the biggest shit shows I have seen in internet history. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've probably already heard a little bit about this situation. But there's a good chance you haven't been following all the details because there's a lot. There's misinformation, there's speculation, there's people pushing their own agendas, etc., etc. Honestly, it's crazy how hard it is to find accurate information on the internet these days. Which is pretty sad in itself, but probably by design. So yeah, let me just summarize the events, the things that you pretty much really need to know in the most objective way possible so you guys at home can come to your own opinions without any kind of outside factors influencing you. This is Ava Kris Tyson, okay? Formerly known as Kris Tyson with a C. She transitioned to a woman a few years back and is known for being Mr. Beast's best friend, aka the biggest YouTuber in the entire world. It's important to understand this because the recent events have everything to do with Tyson's online behavior that took place 7 to 8 years ago before the transition. The only thing that you really need to know is that Kris's transition sparked massive controversy for Mr. Beast, as some people who watched his content were not a fan of Kris's new appearances on his show. In fact, a huge YouTuber by the name of SunnyV2 made an actual video talking about how Kris's presence would be a problem for Mr. Beast, and it's kind of crazy how well that video aged. And lastly, Mr. Beast has been seen on the internet defending and supporting Kris, as she occasionally becomes the center of discussion for divorcing their wife, transitioning, while also having a child. So that's the backstory. Let's fast forward to the past week. Kris Tyson has been under fire for basically having inappropriate conversations with a child. This video titled, "This Video Will Make You Hate Kris Tyson," seems to be one of the several videos that became the catalyst of exposing Kris, kind of similar to how D'Angelo Wallace recently opened up the can of worms with Cody Ko. It connects him with a person by the name of Shadman, whom I just learned their existence this week. This person was known for drawing kids in a sexual suggestive manner, and apparently Kris even had one of their pictures of said drawings hanging in their own room. On top of that, there are a plethora of now deleted tweets that show Kris essentially just being disgusting and toying around the concept of sexualizing children. Now look, just as a pause, okay? I know what old humor is, okay? I know what edgy humor is. I know what it was like 10 years ago when people were dropping all of these words that would be socially unacceptable to say today. If I had a time machine and brought any one person back from 10 years ago into the present time, they'd probably cancel themselves on accident. But guys, this is not that, okay? There was never any kind of era in the past 10 or 20 years where it was cool to sexualize children, all right? That's never been an edgy thing. It was weird then and it's weird now. I just wanted to point out the obvious. After his history with Shadman got exposed by several YouTube content creators, a more terrifying allegation arose that alleged that Kris was talking inappropriately to a 13-year-old while he was 20. And what you essentially need to know, which I'm sure you'll be seeing on your screen right now, is that there were dozens of inappropriate conversations and interactions that everyone here can agree should have never taken place. Another pause, if you don't mind. I find it weird that you and I have to keep asking the question, why would any adult have any kind of outside relationship with a child? Period. Like, why? You have nothing in common. The only reason why an adult should be talking to kids is probably because it's based on their job description. Okay, maybe they're a teacher or a tutor or a caretaker or something. But outside of that, what reasons are there for any kind of adult to be out here on the internet just literally having conversations with kids? It's so freaking weird. But if there's some doubt in your mind, okay, maybe you're having hope with the fact that maybe not all adults who talk to kids aren't interested in them. Yeah, I'm going to play a clip for you that might change your mind entirely when it comes to this Kris Tyson situation.
Patreon, and I'm releasing my nudes. And this is the part I have a problem with. This isn't a group chat. This is literally just him and this other guy that he's been talking to and that he's friends with online. Lava says, "I'm your first Patreon big boy." And he shows that he donated some money. He donated like $1 or something. So it's not enough to meet the goal. And he says, "But not $5. Pathetic, just kidding, kissy face." I'll tell you what it means. It means that you're telling him that he needs to donate $5 so you can release your or whatever. He says, "Wait till my Twitch revenue comes in, winky face." And of course, it continues. He says, "Check again," and he tags you, I think. At least that must be you, or he's tagging you. And of course, he says, "I posted some fire news for you. Please no share.
This is the Twitter account of the kid that goes by LavaGS20. I edit videos sometimes. What you don't see on there is that he changed the description because originally it said that he was working for Mr. Beast and the team. He was a part of the whole crew and he was affiliated. Lava responded to all of this saying, hey, Kris did nothing wrong. What's actually disgusting is you guys twisting things and making me a victim, suggesting that he was not groomed by Kris whatsoever. Followed by this controversial tweet that still seems to be up where he says, these videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. Can you do me a favor and comment on these videos and tell them to stop spreading lies? The situation takes away from children who are actively being exploited every day online. I am not a victim of anything being claimed in these videos or at all. Now, what you need to understand what's very important about these two videos, one being it's over for Kris Tyson by a Cheeto and the Kris Tyson allegations are discussing my sensitive society, is that this has nothing to do with Lava GS. These two videos are actually covering the allegations that come with Kris Tyson and his association with the guy I mentioned before, Shadman. But he doubled down and he said, I am not a victim. I am not backpedaling any statements I have already made. Everything I have stated is still very true. Nothing bad happened between me and Kris. People are creating lies around my name. Yesterday, while under a lot of stress from trying to get my story out as quickly as possible, I made a mistake, included two videos in a tweet that had nothing to do with my situation. So that is him basically finally responding to this situation. Here are the correct videos and these ones should be taken down. I apologize to the creators of the original videos and the first screenshots, pointing to two other videos, one being Kris Tyson got talking to a minor, which the title is true. Kris Tyson did get caught talking to a minor. And another one that said Kris Tyson talked inappropriately to a 13-year-old, which is also true. Kris Tyson, as we've already confirmed, has been talking inappropriately to a minor. This is another one of those situations, in my opinion, where kids and even people who start becoming adults don't actually recognize the extent of what happened until they become a full-ass grown adult, right? You know how like sometimes you turn 25, you turn 30, whatever, you get older, and you look back on something and you realize it was way worse than you thought? Like, you're like, wait a minute, I think this grown person was trying to talk to me. Or wait a minute, I think I almost died. Or wait a minute, now that I reflect and know how adults operated, I realize this situation that I was put in, that I was a victim and that should have never happened in the first place. Because as much as Lava wants to protect Ava in this situation, okay, I think even him at this point can look back and say that the interactions that he had with Kris Tyson should not be happening with another two adults being both 13 and 20. There's no way that you can say with your chest that nothing bad happened. I need to relax because I'm getting a little elevated because I hate it when people talk to kids. But yeah, the nothing bad happened between me and Kris, no, okay? And I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was a young kid and he's 20 and he's still a little young and he does not understand the concept of what adults do, which is becoming friendly with kids. Even if there isn't anything sexual going on, having that relation and that connection in the first place where you can throw out some of those interactions we saw early in the video is just wrong. Now let's talk about actual misinformation that has been faked that some people thought was real. This one clip right here where it said an anonymous user has come out overnight posting screenshots of him, Mr. Beast member Kris Tyson, texting. Kris sent many sexual messages when he was 18 and the anonymous user was 14. If you see any of these tweets going around here talking about playing Minecraft and all this jazz, okay, all of this information is false. It's not real. Do not use this fake information to spread any kind of lies. Let's stick to the facts because I don't want you guys to think that Kris Tyson did things that she did not do. Context was eventually added here saying the videos are clearly fake. First video shows today in a message thread supposedly from 2020. If these were old screen recording, Ava's profile name would be Ava Kris Tyson since she had announced her transition until 2023 and X Archives proves this to be the case. Okay, so a little bit of misinformation here. This was muddling the waters as well, which sucks, right? Because if you're actually trying to like catch predators or catch people who are being creeps and you start plugging in fake information, that kind of messes with the whole process of trying to condemn somebody for talking with kids. Okay, it goes against the entire thing. Another accusation that's been floating around online is that apparently Kris Tyson's old YouTube channel, where they found that he was sharing revenge porn with his audience, he was sharing the pics of Jeanette McCurdy from...
How's it going, you guys? So recently everybody's been hearing about the Jeanette McCurdy leak of her photo. What the story is, she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend, and he leaked them out. And she is a very popular Nickelodeon star on the show iCarly, and probably be seen as the pulling of the show. It'll probably be taken off the air. Second off, you'll probably see the photos get taken down at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it. First off, what I have to say though is that when you look on the news, you see.
What? How is he saying this so nonchalantly? Right? Are you guys hearing this, bro? Man said, hey, yo, I don't know if you know this, but this famous person, their nudes got leaked. Okay, links in the description below. Okay, like and subscribe to the channel. I know there's some people who really want to see these leaks, this revenge stuff. I got the link, but I don't endorse it. And he's saying this as if it's just rolling off the tongue, as it's just completely freaking normal. What in the goddamn hell? Anyway, after a little bit of time, probably less than 24 hours after this whole thing started blowing up, Ava Kris Tyson eventually responded. This was less than 21 hours ago, and came out with just a single tweet initially that pissed off a lot of people that I'll read for you right now. She had said, "I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health." That's the same non-apology that I feel like I see every single time when someone is in a situation like this, where they say, I didn't mean to offend. They don't take responsibility or accountability for any specific action, because I'm guessing they don't want to, hold themselves responsible and condemn themselves. And then they say, I'm going to go take a break and take a vacation. Word for word, bar for bar, people in this situation keep saying the exact same statement. Because if you read this with me, guys, when you say, I want to apologize for my past behavior or comments, right? There was a lot of comments. There was a lot of past behavior, right? There was a lot of things that were said that you can't just say, I'm sorry to, right? You're going to have to acknowledge that that was terrible. But people want to know specifically, what did you do or not do? It kept everything vague. So yeah, it was a non-apology, which has led people, everyone, including me, to believe at this point in time that I guess the accusations are true. Because if they're not saying that nothing wasn't true, then I guess it is. To be very clear, for those of you at home, it shouldn't be difficult to say, hey, no, I didn't talk inappropriately to any minor at any point in time, if you didn't do it. Anyway, 3 to 4 hours later, after the internet was just ripping her to shreds about this response, she then started to add an explanation and context, the one that people were basically looking for, because the first statement just basically was a nothing burger. I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations, Lava GS, has vocally supported that they are false. So when they're saying that these accusations are false, this is already a false statement, okay? Because the accusations that are being made is that there were inappropriate conversations that were being had between her and Lava GS. That is true. So this is a false statement in itself. It's not false. The accusations are true. The question then is how do people interpret it? And a lot of people will interpret these conversations, this back and forth between Ava and Lava GS, even if nothing physical happened, as grooming. For some people, that might be textbook grooming. And it seems to be the same behavior that a lot of people who do groom do. Anyway, she continued, said, having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who may feel betrayed by how I used to act online. Again, very vague, because we're having a hard time pinpointing here what Ava Kris is actually apologizing for, because there were so many social media posts. There were so many things that was called videos, right? A lot of bad things came out with Ava. She said to lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad, edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In past years, I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. This statement, again, this is just my opinion. I'm giving you guys the facts, but I'm also giving you my side note, okay? And I'm gonna be completely raw and honest with you guys. This statement right here is absolute bullshit. To summarize all of the things that you've just seen on the screen, and things you probably haven't seen quite yet, because she has already deleted all of her Twitter posts and all of her Snapchat, okay? She deleted all of the history, which means there's probably a lot more that could be unburied that they are now hiding. Everything that's been happening in the past before just has to be summarized into just bad, edgy jokes is just absolutely disgusting. Working with Shadman and having actual art of a underage kid being drawn suggestively and then posting that joint on your wall? That's not an edgy joke, bro. That's just nasty, filthy, weird behavior. And it's such a slap in the face, us looking at the situation from the outside in to basically try to gaslight into us thinking that this is just jokes, right? Guys, it was just a prank, bro. This is what she's saying, is that it was just a prank, bro. It was just bad, edgy jokes. And we just know that it's not. We know that these statements don't align with the actual fact. But anyway, she says, I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why I have stepped away. Spoiler alert, it has already impacted the hundreds of people who work with Mr. Beast, including Mr. Beast himself, who will probably have to make a statement about this sometime in the future. Keemstar responded to the situation saying, you didn't apologize to me a month ago in private when I brought up your behavior supporting the cartoon CP artist that drew my 8-year-old daughter in a sexual way. What changed? Question mark. Now guys, now that we're here, okay, I want to talk to you candidly, okay, off the cusp, off the dome, okay, no filter, literally just raw. I want to tell you guys exactly how I feel, because I feel like there's a lot of moving parts here that are happening in this situation, including the situation with Kris Tyson, that I feel like really needs to be addressed. The things that are in the back of your mind that you're probably thinking, I want to talk about it right now. Probably be a bit taboo, but I don't think we should ignore it, okay? And I also don't think we should bullshit or sugarcoat anything that's happening right here. Come on, let's talk about Kris. What she did was unacceptable. It wasn't edgy humor. It wasn't old humor. It wasn't humor at all, okay? It was creepy. It's the same behavior as like many predators like Colleen Ballinger, Dr. Disrespect, EDP 445. What all of these people have in common is that they cozy out with children and talk directly with them about things they shouldn't be talking about, period. And I don't care that she's trans, okay? Because we've talked about this situation with a multitude of people from every single community, and we've always come to the same conclusion, is that kid dealers always come from every single facet of life, okay? Wherever there is a community that exists, there is some disgusting human being that wants to talk to kids, which brings me to point number 2. Trans people, okay? If you're a trans person and you're watching this video, I get it. Been seeing the same verbiage online thrown around nonstop that you guys feel like this is going to set you guys back, which unfortunately, to be completely honest, I think it's actually true. It shouldn't be true, but it is what it is. You guys remember the attempted assassination that happened with Donald Trump? Okay, of course you remember. No one has forgotten, hopefully, at this point. But yeah, he got his ear blown off and people were wondering who was the killer. And guys, I was sitting here in the background praying, crossing my fingers that whoever shot Donald Trump was not black. Because if he was, oh my God, we would have had a Civil War number 2. If it was a black guy, I guarantee you we'd be getting stomped out on these streets by the police more than we already are, okay? You guys know how this works. It's essentially culture wars, okay? Some of you at home can watch this video or look at these events and look at it as an isolated event. Some of you can look at the situation and collectively only care about the protection of kids. But all of you should be aware of the game that's actually happening behind the scene that's basically pushing agendas on all spectrums, okay? Whether you're on the left, on the right, you're trans, you're black, you're straight, you're gay, whatever. Doesn't matter who or what you are. There are millions of people out there who are using stories like this as ammunition to kind of push their confirmation bias and push the agendas that they want to be seen out there, okay? And that's it. That's the end of the story. That's the game, and it is what it is. You're not removing it. This is how life literally works, so just understand that this is what's at play. So yes, some people who hate trans people will use this as ammunition as to why trans people are bad. It's unfortunate, and I empathize, but that's the reality of the world. There are also going to be people within the trans community who are going to blindly protect Kris Tyson because they are of the same community. From my tenure and what I've seen in life and on the internet, these culture wars, this tribalism, it simply exists to divide and conquer. If there is more of us and we have the bigger stick, then we all collectively win. This might come to a shocker for you guys, but I don't think trans people are the problem here. I think people who are talking to little kids are the problem. It's crazy because ever since Cat Williams appeared on Shannon Sharp's podcast, we have had every kind of human being ousted as a dealer, okay? Featuring P. Diddy himself. We got Drake, aka the freaky ass nigga, aka the 69 God. We had Colleen Ballinger. Was that even this year? Dr. Disrespect, Cody Ko being called out for knowingly sexing a minor. We all know about Weinstein and everyone he's associated with, Hollywood, Nickelodeon, EDP 45, the church, the Smash community, the left, the right, the up, the down. It's everywhere. TLDR, weird ass niggas exist in every facet of life with no common denominator outside of the fact that they just want to talk to kids. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life or which factions you shouldn't be a part of. Just know when I say that these streets aren't safe, that I literally mean they're not safe for everyone, not just one single group of people. And guys, finally, the last thing that I really want to have a conversation with you guys is the whole concept of like diverting the attention to like content creators. This specific instance with Kris created a large conversation about people carrying the quote same energy when it comes to dunking on weirdos. SQC being one of the people calling people out saying, I follow mostly only influential creators here, yet most have been silent about the Kris Tyson situation. Pretty deviant behavior across the board. Weirdo. Can't wait to read some of the Cope justifications on why it wasn't addressed. Clown emoji. By the way, next time I'm adding the whole squad. Stop hiding behind the noise. This concept comes from the fact that Dr. Disrespect literally got canceled for something that was similar, albeit not identical, literally like 2 weeks ago. Okay, the person was saying, I want everyone to keep the same energy with Kris Tyson as they did with Dr. Disrespect. And I agree, people should keep the same energy when it comes to outing weirdos on the internet, especially the ones that are talking to kids. Because as human beings, we know that there's bias, okay? You can see the bias when like Nick Merckx responds about the Dr. Disrespect situation versus, when he's smoking the pack watch while Kris Tyson is getting called out. You can see people who collectively dunked on Dr. Disrespect publicly and harshly versus those who are more reluctant and passive when it comes to Kris Tyson. There were multiple content creators who are basically under fire for keeping the same energy, okay? One of them being Pokimane, who always happens to be somehow somewhere in the middle of the drama. Like she just finds herself in that place, whether she does something or not. She said, I don't know all the details regarding the Ava situation, but I want to make it clear. Any inappropriate behavior towards minors is unacceptable, regardless of who you are. Followed by, it's a shame that people will see this as an opportunity to attack the trans community as a whole. One person's actions does not reflect on every single trans person, so please don't view it in that way. Whereas when it came to the whole Dr. Disrespect situation, after Dr. Disrespect gave his testimony on Twitter to kind of confirm that he was talking to a kid, he was talking to a minor, she replied with, yuck. Valkyrie also dropped a similar tweet at the same time as Pokimane saying, hey, I'm still in the process of moving, so I haven't been able to fully keep up. But in the meantime, since I've been tagged a bunch, pedophiles equals bad, trans does not equal pedo. The actions of one trans person does not mean all. Sucks to see so many anti-trans people act as if it does. I'm hoping Ava speaks up. Dr. D is still gross. Lastly, to the incels that only tagged Pokey and I to speak up, even though everybody did after D did himself, you're weird. Focus your hate towards the pedos for once. More on this later, okay? This is part of the conversation I want to have for you guys. I just want to show you some of the context on the conversations that have been happening. One of the commentators that actually made the video talking about Kris Tyson and Shadman, Cheeto had said, hey, Ludwig, are you planning on covering the definitive predatory behavior that Kris Tyson has engaged in? Question mark. You made videos talking about Dr. Disrespect immediately after information came out, right? This had 26,000 likes and people were like, yeah, Ludwig, where the hell are you? Okay, why haven't you made a video? Where are you, brother? And Ludwig said, my video literally came out 2 days after Charlie's, not immediately after information came out. I waited for Doc's statement on Twitter and on stream and his removal from Midnight Society. I'm literally in Paris with my family. Why y'all MFers so horny for a statement? Crying, laughing emoji, right? Like basically saying like, look, I'm kind of busy right now, but also I've just been waiting for information to come out with confirmation and for Ava herself to respond. And then you got our boy Charlie, aka Moist Critical, getting dragged into the situation because he comments about everything. He's literally everywhere, okay? If you sneeze, breathe, fart, or cough, okay? Charlie will have a video up and ready, a nice 8 to 10 minute video talking about the fact that you farted, okay? People were saying, quote, Moist Critical is not going to talk about Kris' situation because he wants the Mr. Beast collab, quote. Sneako goes off on YouTuber Penguin Zero. Is Charlie scared to address it? And unfortunately, we have to play a clip from Sneako, who has been definitely taking advantage of this situation. And you know that thing with the culture wars and pushing agendas? This guy is basically prime person number one. The same guy who said Cuties was an excellent film is out here condemning people for not talking about a situation about kids soon enough.
Yo, look out, Moist Critical is not gonna go talk about the Kris situation because he wants to have the Mr. Beast collab. Bro, you're gonna talk about every other trending situation, Dr. Disrespect, Sneako, anything that goes viral goes on your main channel. Kris, the associate of the biggest YouTube channel in the world, you do a 4-minute clip on your second channel. Stop coping and be a journalist if you're gonna be a journalist, or just say that you wanna have the collab. Stop lying.
So again, this is just Sneako rage baiting. This is what he does, right? He comes out here, he rage baits, and he lies. Because we all know full and well that Charlie was going to drop a video on this after getting all the information, right? But this is what he does. He spreads misinformation and he lies as much as possible so that he gets clipped in this way so that you see him in this way. He's absolutely okay with being seen as the villain and doing everything that needs to be done as possible to be seen and heard. That's Sneako. Anyway, as for the truth, Charlie had responded and said which people would actually bother checking if I've talked about something. I talked about it last night on stream while it was all unfolding and posted a short edit from the discussion so even brain-rotted idiots can watch the full thing and see how horrible it is. I will also be making a full video on it as well, which I said too. I'm honestly shocked Sneako isn't defending all of this considering he's been arguing against the age of consent for a while. So literally the night before, Charlie had a full on stream talking about the situation and saying, yes, I will also make a video as well. But, you know, Sneako's out here trying to bait him and be like, why haven't you done so? It's lies and misinformation, but it works. We're in the age of the community of the internet where you can just say whatever the freaking hell you want. It doesn't matter. Go on Twitter and lie and you can make a profession out of it. Integrity is absolutely gone. With Sneako from his Sneako Updates channel, that's right, he has his own second Twitter where he gives Sneako updates. Usually this is someone from the outside. You're so popular, you have other people making your updates, but Sneako makes his own updates. He said, you posted on your dead second channel. Why not post it on your main channel with 15 million subscribers? It is a not important topic like the Dr. Disrespect allegations, question mark? And which Charlie said, this account is so effing weird. Imagine riding cock so hard, you make your whole online identity about the streamer you're obsessed with and doing the PR for free. It was literally still unfolding when I went live, and with Dr. Disrespect, I talked about it on stream first and made a video the following day after his response, saying with this situation as well. Okay, so Charlie basically saying that he's kept the same freaking energy that he's had with Dr. Disrespect with here when it comes to Kris Tyson. It's just, this brings me to my third point, which is the agendas and people pushing culture wars and trying to basically condemn creators because sensationalism and basically hating people on the internet, regardless of what it is more important than the actual fact that a kid was basically talked to. Now I'm gonna lean back and wrap this up because I'm yapping at this point. While I think it is important for all of us to collectively dunk on people who talk to kids on the internet, I feel like there is an unusual amount of hate that's being directed towards the people who aren't touching kids, right? Like there is a massive, the amount of hate that I see going towards people who are not touching kids is actually, I'm gonna use this word, it's actually insane. This definitely ties back to the conversation we talked about earlier about, culture wars and basically holding content creators accountable to see that same energy. Because I get it. The hypocrisy of some people is absolutely wild. To see someone dunk on one person and be like, ha ha, get him. And you see another person and you're kind of like being meek or mellow. You don't say anything because you're trying to stay friends or maybe you want to be in good with Mr. Beast. Okay, I get that does happen. I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't. But it starts to get a little bit freaking weird, man, when we're talking about situations where kids are being touched and people are using that information as ammunition, right? They're using an experience where kids are being abused as ammunition to attack somebody else. If you kind of think and process how that is working, it's really, really messed up. It's garbage, but that's the internet. That's the world. Sometimes it can be a pretty nasty place with nasty people who basically have only one intention, and that is to cause you harm. It is what it is. As for the content creators, me personally, I'm less concerned about the timing of their response and more so about the energy part that they carry when the information is finally revealed. A lot of people dunked on Dr. Disrespect prior to him addressing the situation on Twitter, but not everyone did. Some people waited until he responded and confirmed even amidst all of the articles and allegations and collective thought processes that made this man look guilty. For me specifically, you guys know I carry the same energy all the time. I like to wait and chill because I've seen so many scenarios where people jump the gun, right? They just start dunking on somebody before they have all of the facts or both sides of the story, and then they are wrong and they go, oops, my bad, sorry, I was on the wrong side of history there, and then kind of act like nothing happened, but the damage gets done. And as a person who likes to talk about these events, I don't want to be wrong. If I can avoid being wrong, I would rather wait for more information than jump the gun and then be wrong and then have the damage done. Because even if you correct information like that, not everyone who saw that information is going to see the follow-up repair. And even if it is repaired, some people still have this mentality that this person is evil. Even if it gets debunked, there will be people out there who will still use that information and be like, yeah, nah, this person is evil. I know it's not true. I know it got debunked, but I'm just going to carry that energy anyway, right? It's like the damage always gets permanently done regardless. Unfortunately for you guys at home, I'm not a part of the pitchfork mob mentality where I want to see someone hanging every single time a situation happens immediately. It's what gets the clicks. It's what gets the views, sensationalism, and people being absolutely angry and rage baiting. It gets all of the views, but yeah, nah, man. Unfortunately, I'm not about that life or that energy. I like to chill and wait and assess and move slowly and quietly, but accurately. And in this specific situation, I don't blame people waiting, even if it looks damning. I'm telling you, I've seen some reversals. I've seen some situations where it looked like people were cooked. It was just out there and there was no coming back from it, right? And I'd be like, guys, I'm gonna let you know this does not look good. And if it doesn't look good, and if the accusations are true, this person is garbage, doo-doo butter, but I'm just waiting to see if they have a statement. I'm gonna give it some time to see if any more information comes out because I think it's going to be bad. You know, that's the energy that I want to be at. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode of LayItOmni. You've just been laid. Moral of the story, stop talking to kids. Bro, man, like if you're a grown adult, all right, just don't. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing to be had there. Okay, unless they're your kids, right, or something like that, or it's your job. There is no reason for you to ever be in that space where you have these type of conversations, even just normal conversations. Like, what are you doing normally talking to a kid? What are you doing there? You know, not even just the people who are being inappropriate. Even if you're being appropriate, why? Just go away. Go talk to your peers. Go talk to your folks. Go talk to your parents. Okay, talk to yourself, man. But don't be talking to kids just all willy-nilly, making it all casual. I get it. You know, but you want to believe that people have the best intent when it comes around the world, but they don't. All right, so just don't be a part of that information or energy because it's quite literally not necessary. Let the 13-year-olds talk amongst themselves, bro. Like, god damn, disgusting. As for what happens next, I think we're probably going to get a statement from Mr. Beast eventually pretty soon. And I'm actually kind of worried because I think there is going to be more that comes from this. Okay, I'm usually right when I say I have a bad feeling because I've been here for a while. And I also have a few sources that I talk to as well that kind of put me in the know with some information that I can't confirm or deny, but I have a bad feeling that this is going to get worse. Not only for just Ava, but some of this might start leaking into Mr. Beast and the team as well. So stay tuned. I'll keep you guys posted when anything drops. I love you guys. Stay safe on the streets because these streets ain't safe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.